my optician's nightmare is actually quite a long story, which is why I've broken it down into several videos. It started in 2004 when I just got a new job as a part-time worker in a call centre. Within a couple of weeks I had very, very sore eyes. I couldn't see distance, say, after I'd been working at the computer. I had permanent eye strain and headaches, and I thought, ooh, we need to see an optician. I'd never ever been to an optician before, so I went straight away to the one provided by the company. It was the major chain optician, without giving any clues away. Right, so I had my eye test. I told them what my problems were. I didn't like looking at things that were too close. I found the computers far too close. And I did at that point ask, could I possibly be long-sighted? That was because before I got the job in the call centre, using a computer for me meant putting the keyboard on my lap and sitting about 5 feet away from the actual screen. It was CRT screens in those days, with a pair of sunglasses on as well. So I thought that was a reasonable question, and I told them how bad my headaches were and that I had neck pain, blah-de-blah, and that one night after I'd been working I had such bad eye strains that when I looked at the street lights, they had halos on, but the halos were actually going round and round in spirals. So that was actually quite a bad visual distortion. Anyway, they gave me the standard eye test, as they do, and the optician said, "You need glasses," like that, and he took me downstairs and he deposited me with this assistant, who then actually proceeded to try out frames on me. And apparently opticians are not supposed to do this. Once they've given you your eye test, they're actually supposed to give you your prescription so that you can then go somewhere else to see if you can get the frames made up or the prescription made up anywhere cheaper. But no, they fitted the glasses there and then, and said, oh, this will be ready in a week or whatever. So a week later I have my glasses, and when I put them on, it felt like my left eye here was actually being squashed this way. Now, for some bizarre reason, it made everything on the screen look bigger. I don't know why, because it was actually a mild minus prescription of all things. A couple of weeks later, I was in worse agony, and my distance vision seemed to be getting worse and worse. And I thought, this isn't right. I'd always had very, very good distance vision before. So I went back. They did at that point give me a grey coating on the glasses to see if it would make it better. I said, are you sure I'm not long-sighted? I really don't like looking at close things. And they sort of didn't answer. I went back to work. It was really hurting again after that. So back I came. They gave me another eye test at this point, for which I paid. I said, no, there's nothing wrong, but they did adjust it a tiny little bit. So this eye, which was a minus 25 according to them, went down to a minus 50. And I went back a few weeks later again. By now the pain is just getting worse and worse, and I know it doesn't make sense because I'm actually enjoying my job. I'm fighting to keep it. The company, I have to say, were brilliant. They were fighting on my behalf to help me keep my job. But anyway, back I go to the opticians. This time the prescription in this eye goes down to 75. And by this time, when I'm using the computer, this eye is actually trying to tear away, and it absolutely hurts like buggery. It really does. So I asked the assistant what this is, and she is, well, when you're 50, you might get something called presbyopia, but don't worry about this in the least. That was her answer to me. So anyway, I went back and I made a fuss, because by this time the company could see that this wasn't right. A prescription shouldn't have been changing that much. I had another eye test at the company's expense. No, at my expense, sorry. And by this time I was very, very light sensitive, because I had really quite bad eye strain. So they sent me to another optician who helped them out sometimes, and they specialised in something called scotopic sensitivity syndrome, which basically means that you are sensitive to light. Anyway, this company gave me coloured glasses. They gave me the deepest shade of blue they could find, and I have to say, it was like putting ice on my eyes. It was so comforting. But because the colours blue and green are very good for soothing eyes if you've got eye strain, basically. But the problem was my prescription was still wrong, or it still felt wrong. So back I went to the original optician, made a fuss, explained this was now affecting my work because I was having to take time off sick because I had eye strain. Bear in mind, this is the opticians that were contracted to the company I was working for. And I said, look, I said that my eye strain was so bad I was seeing spirals going round the street lights. And the assistant sort of looked at me in horror and says, you were what? You were seeing spirals going round the street lights? Why on earth didn't you tell the optician? And I'm like, I did. You know, I told the optician. Why would you not tell the optician something as bad as that? And it sort of, descended into a bit of a row, and she sort of ended up saying, well, if you allegedly told our optician, and again I queried my prescription and said, are you sure I'm not long-sighted? I think I am long-sighted. And I didn't actually get an answer to this at all. They just kept talking about other subjects. So by this time I was completely, because I'd been for about 4 eye tests with them, all of which I'd paid for, and it was the standard eye test every single time, that eye test where you look at a board over there. Now, I was having trouble with close vision. My close vision was never ever tested, not once. And at this point I decided to try another optician.